Thank you. Thank you very much. That was sweet. You have another one? Go right ahead. I'm going to help you. Thank you. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Greetings. I'm Naima Oyo, daughter of Kali and Doy and Obaba Oyo, granddaughter of Mary York and David York, granddaughter of Lillian Farmville and Hubert Farmville. I have the honor of serving as the executive director of Ifa Tayo Cultural Arts Academy. Ifa Tayo believes in the power of teaching our children the power of using the tools and technologies of our ancestors. At Ifa Tayo, we know and believe art changes culture and culture changes policy. Nothing I can say today will be as powerful as you hearing from our young people. And so I am happy to turn the mic over to one of our students, Zion.
Greetings. My name is Zion Johnson. I'm 14 years old, and I've been with Ife Tayo Cultural Arts Academy for 5 years. I'm also an acting major with the Ife Tayo Youth Ensemble and a part of the I Am My Brother Rites of Passage program. As a young member of this community, I promise to continue to learn, study, grow, and develop into a person of good moral character. I am now to be a man, a black man, an African man, and I accept all of the responsibilities that manhood entails. I will organize like Marcus Garvey, be committed and audacious like Malcolm X, use the strategies of Shaka Zulu, have the courage and patience of Martin Luther King Jr., be a warrior like Zumbi, study history like John Henrik Clark, and rule kingdoms like Aha Narmer. All of this I pledge. I'm ready. Ashe.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Itafayo and the drummers. Beautiful. Thank you. Great. I don't know about you guys, but when the drumming started and the dancing started, the sun came out right there, and if that wasn't the ancestors, I don't know what to tell you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all distinguished guests. We'd like to begin this program, and as we settle in, I'd like to have Rabbi Eli Cohen pray us in, followed up by Bishop Kermit Williams.
Thank you, Joe Coelho, for a wonderful leadership both today and also of our Community Advisory Board that's been so active, and thank you. You know, I'm reminded of the biblical verse that tells us about when the temple was built. Now, this is not the temple, but it's a very, very beautiful, holy building that has so much potential. And when the temple was built, it says that Aaron and Moses went out to bless the people. And this gathering, when we're joined together and we invoke God's blessing upon this gathering and all the people who have worked so hard to bring it to fruition. And I can't single out everybody, but I do want to single out Don Kaposha and the partners of BFC Partners, and also the New York City, the City of New York, led by the EDC, that worked so hard from the beginning, and the vision of our council member, Laurie Cumbo, and everyone else that toiled to build. But it says that if God will not guard the city, then the builders have toiled in vain. And the builder's work is now done, and now God shall guard this city, this beautiful edifice, that it should really serve the community in the way that it was intended. And it's off to a good start, but we need still a lot of blessing. And in this week's Torah portion that we read in the Bible, we read about, it begins the life of Sarah, but it's not about the life of Sarah. It's about what happened after Sarah passed away. Because the true life of a person is the legacy that they leave. And this building is a tremendous legacy to Major Owens, who was a great leader here in the community, and all the wonderful leaders that some of them portrayed right here on the wall, and others in our hearts and in our souls, who worked to build in Crown Heights the most diverse and the most beautiful community. So now we gather as one, and we ask God's blessing that this should be a success in the greatest way possible and beyond our amazing dreams. Everyone should be well, everyone should be healthy, and everyone should enjoy the fruits of this toil.
Thank you, Rabbi Cohen. Thank you very much. We now have Bishop Kermit Williams of Agape Fellowship Church.
Good afternoon, everyone. To my friend and colleague, Brother Joe Coelho, for inviting me here. Can you hear me? Closer. Can you hear me now? Okay. Yes. Just delighted to be at this space, in this scene, give a reverence and respect to the organizers and the things I used to do in this armory. You can't do them. This is beautiful. This is outstanding. I have to say that. Without going, I thought I was just supposed to pray. Because he said prayer, but if I start talking, you know. All right. But he talked, so I'm going to say a word. I just would like to just because I was sitting here reminiscing, because I first met Major Owens. I can call him that. That's what I used to call him when we were together, right? I think it was 1966. And he had become the executive director of Brownsville Community Council. And I was the youngest person on the board, acting in the community. That was a long time ago. When we really got engaged with him, though, was in the early 80s when he took over from Shirley Chisholm, who had been the person that we were I'm an activist, preacher. So we were dealing with Shirley, and then Major came, and of course, we used to call him the intellectual librarian, something else, because he was very astute in, sharing with us things that we need to know. I'll never forget that he used to say to me, he told me this, and I never forgot it. He said, Kermit, you need to learn to look at the bigger picture and the larger scale of things. And I think that is a worthy commemoration of what he gifted and gave to all of us and to this community, that we did broaden our scope and lengthen our cords. And I'm grateful to still be here witnessing the fruit of so much labor. Shall we pray? Heavenly Father, it's because of your unique design and designation of humans on this planet they were able to honor someone who has contributed so much in such a time as this. We thank you for the season that he has shared, Major Owens that is, and we know he's resting with you now, and that as we commemorate his memories, that we won't forget the many, many pearls and jewels that he left for us during the struggle. Now we pray that you would touch and bless every person under the sound of my voice in this place, those whose names I can call and those I don't know, and that the mission and the vision of this center, of this congregated community effort will be successful and crowned with your blessings and your glory always, is our prayer. And we believe that we receive, even as we have spoken it. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Rabbi Cohen and Bishop Williams. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Again, good afternoon, esteemed guests. Welcome to the Bedford Union Armory. Imagine this. It's 1908, the year this armory was built. It was built during wartime. It was built for the National Guard. The National Guard trained here. They kept artillery here, tanks, guns, weapons, rifles. Everything was here in this armory. The guards worked here and they slept here. They even stabled horses here. And if you look around, you no longer smell that. You no longer feel that. And you get a better sense of who we are as a community and why change is inevitable and necessary for a community to come together. I'd like to thank you all for being here. And I'd like to say one thing about, they've got these two photos of Major Owens. I feel like he's looking at me. Major Owens did 12 sessions in Congress, 24 years in Congress. That's a long time. What we don't know, and what a lot of you might not know, is that it was Major Owens who was very instrumental in the Americans with Disability Act. He was very instrumental in higher education bills, child abuse prevention, and important to many of us in here, he was one of the most vocal advocates for OSHA. He was a ranking member of the Congressional Black Caucus for many years, and upon his retirement, he was a distinguished scholar in Congress, and he was also a senior fellow at the Du Bois Bunch Center, along with Professor Roger Green, John Flatteau, and Dr. Divine Pryor. I'm extremely proud to have guest lectured under all three And we are blessed to have Major Owens on our side and in our hearts here in this building. There have been, well, let me say this. If you look around, you see Menachem Schneerson, you see Reverend Clarence Norman, Major Owens, Dr. Susan S. McKinney, Jackie Robinson, and Shirley Chisholm. We've got 6 other locations over here, and we're hoping to put another 6 faces up there to make sure that Brooklyn is represented. They have been longtime Brooklyn advocates for over 75 years in public service. And I also want to make sure that our brother, James E. Davis, gets up on that mantle. Today, you will hear from many important and influential speakers, but I'd like the Major Owens Advisory Board to please stand up and be counted at this moment. I'd like to thank you for the important and meaningful work that you've done over the past 2.5 years and still going strong. Thank you, Justin Turner, for starting the party as chair. I'd like to thank the Major Owens family, my brother Chris Owens, my youngest son Justin interned for him when he ran for office about 15 years ago. I'd like to thank the mayor who will be here shortly. I'd like to thank the borough president we're looking forward to. I'd like to thank Community Board 9, Local Development Corporation with my brother Val Henry for all of their wise counsel. I'd like to thank Majority Leader Lori Cumbo for her vision and her stamina. I'd like to thank EDC for all of their work and leadership. I'd like to thank the Boys Club and all of the prime tenants. I'd like to thank the community partners who are here and the stakeholders for believing in this building. I'd like to thank BFC Partners. If you don't know what that means, it's Bedrock for Communities. BFC Partners. I'd like to thank Robert Santa, Eric Woodland, Mr. Wynn Wharton, and last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and pleasure to introduce you to the BFC CEO, Captain of the ship, Mr. Don Kaposha. Take a look right here. There you go. Go ahead.
Thank you, Joe. It was a very generous introduction. And I appreciate you kicking this off today, as well as your tireless partnership throughout this process. Thank you, Rabbi Cohen and Bishop Williams, for your blessings. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. My name is Don Kaposha, BFC Partners. I am so excited to open the Major R. Owens Health and Wellness Community Center today, which will be a key component to the Major Owens, to the city's first health and wellness community once we've completed 415 units, 60% affordable, right behind this building. So this will be a moment for New York, is a moment for New York that I don't think we've ever seen before. This project has been a truly collaborative effort to bring together the community, our government partners, vital nonprofits, children and youth program providers, and of course the families of the late Congressman Owens, Carrie Gabay, and Betty Carter. I'm so grateful for your partnership over the years. We can all be so proud of what's been accomplished together today. The Major Owens Center is not just another community center. As you can see, it's a state-of-the-art 60,000 square foot rec center. And in our head house, we've got another 35,000 feet of nonprofit office space. Whether it's the competitive swimming pool, where the young children can learn life-saving skills, that's actually underway right now, the basketball courts where teens can safely spend their afternoons, perhaps the mental health service provider, Callan Lord, working with Brooklyn Pride, who also has a permanent home in this building, or the creative outlet of Ife Tayo. It will offer through dance. This center has something for everyone, and that is our goal. to give children, parents, grandparents of Crown Heights a space of their own with classes, camps, programming, and new experiences that help them thrive. We all know this has not been an easy process, but it is an example of what cities should be doing across the country to build more equitable communities. And the community must be at the heart of these projects. Our advisory committee of neighbors, local leaders, advocates did not dare let us off the hook on a single detail. But if you look around and you watch as the Owens Center grows, you will see that they got it right. I'm so grateful for the debates and the dialogue. Their passion made us all better. And thank you, Joe, and the other members of the committee who have joined us today. You literally introduced us to this neighborhood, and you have, on a monthly basis, made us familiar with the needs and desires of your Crown Heights neighbors. Without you, we would not have been able to really figure this out. This is not our home. We consider ourselves newcomers, but we expect to spend a lot of time in Crown Heights with you. This building was in poor shape and a drain on the community. But instead now, through EDC's support, we have been able to bring about the vibrant opportunity to a neighborhood that has rarely seen its fair share. It will act as a one-stop shop for the needs of the residents of Crown Heights. It's a $42 million project with absolutely no debt, which means that all of the nonprofits and operators that we have in the building right now have permanent homes at rents that are and will be affordable for the duration of their existence. I hope they go beyond. Well, I'll just say one thing. I will wish you luck in year 99 when it's time to renew the lease. That's all I'll say. But the nonprofits we have here have been amazing. We have New Heights Basketball. We have Global Soccer, where we're standing right now. Imagine Swim. Ife Tayo is right up there behind those. Those are all dance studios up there. Brooklyn Pride is downstairs with the Callan Lord, with the Callan Lord Center. On this side of the building, we're just completing the construction of a 25,000 square foot federally qualified health center, which will provide a range of medical services by the Brooklyn Plaza Medical Center. And this FQHC, as they call it, will be open to anyone. Whether you have insurance, don't have insurance, have money, have no money, you walk in, they treat you. And they are a key component brought to us by Lori Combo. So many of our tenants were brought to us by Lori, who knew how volatile the existence of these nonprofits can be when they're faced with rising real estate markets. So you've done a great deed for all of these. We wish we could take care of, a couple dozen more. And by having it debt-free, basically it meant that the state, the city, our partners all kind of chipped in so that this could be a debt-free facility. I want to mention, so we didn't have we did not have a topping out in this building. This building was topped out in, I think, 1899 or 1900. But a topping out is where you have the opportunity to thank the men and the women who worked here tirelessly day after day for 3 years. Through the pandemic, we had hundreds of men and women working in this building, coming to work every day to get this important project done. Without them, of course, we could never have done this. And I want to thank them here today. There are a number of them are here with us, along with the subcontractors that helped build this job. And I'd like to give them a hand because they've done an amazing job. I also want to thank my partners. We have a number of them. Joseph Farrar is here today. He's partner in BFC. Brandon Barron is here as well. Linda Rubin, the wife of one of our partners, is here representing him today. Wynn Wharton is here as well. Our project manager, Robert Santa, who came in midstream but's done an amazing job bringing this to a close. Of course, our Director of Community Engagement, he calls himself the community quarterback, Eric Woodland, who you all know, has been an incredible, he's been a real asset for us, and he's been an asset for the community, and that's what we're most proud of. And we also have our financial partners here as well. Goldman Sachs is represented, Wells Fargo Bank, and Citibank. All of these parties together, along with the city and the state, cobbled together $42 million to do this project. Before I wrap up, I have to thank some other partners who have made this possible, some of our government partners, including Mayor Bill de Blasio, Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams, each of whom committed money to this project and in this community center. Former Assemblyman Walter Mosley, who was also really helpful in the early stages. Where is he? Is he here? You here, Walter? Tell him I said hello. We missed him. And Congresswoman Yvette Clarke. I don't know. Is she here today? She's probably busy in Washington. She's in Washington. Thank you. EDC President Rachel Loeb, who's been an amazing partner in this. Former President James Padgett, who threatened me that if I didn't get this done, hell would come down on me. Thank God we did get it done. Along with Deputy Mayor Vicky Bean, who's here today. Your teams have been incredible in getting us here, and your trust is so appreciated. It has been a long process, but together we've created something pretty special. I mentioned them at the top, but to be kind of entrusted with the legacy of Congressman Owens, Carrie Gabay, and Betty Carter is an incredible honor for BFC. We were really just a conduit for their vision, this community's vision, and we're so pleased that it looks the way that it does today and will serve so many people. Chris and Trinell and Jeffrey, thank you for being here today and your guidance in ensuring that this project holds up the legacies of your loved ones. We would not be here today if it weren't for the vision and courage of Majority Leader Lori Cumbo. There's way too much to even begin to talk about the history she and I have had on this project, but it's been a learning experience and it's been a lot of fun. Didn't seem so at times, but still it's been great. It's easy to fear change and to oppose a grand vision. Lori understood that the Major Owens Center mission is bigger than that, and she stood up and by her decision to support this ambitious undertaking. Thank you, Lori. While this is a legacy project for BFC and EDC, it's as much a legacy for her too. I know Lori's guidance has ensured this project will help change the lives of young people all throughout Central Brooklyn. And this is what today is about. This is a community-driven project for the community. Everyone who helped us along the way, I thank you. This project could not have happened without your support. And now we're excited to officially open the center and welcome members of the Crown Heights community. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Don. Thank you for the incredible work and leadership. Next, we have the President of the New York City EDC, Ms. Rachel Loeb. Warm welcome.
I'm a little shorter. I'm good. Thank you. Thank you, Joe. And thank you, Don and BFC, for working with us and with the community and with our elected officials and with the advisory committee and with the Owens family to develop this phenomenal space. At New York City Economic Development Corporation, we are focused on building strong neighborhoods and creating equitable opportunities. And I think this space is a physical manifestation of our work. And it what motivates all of us every day when we get up out of bed and go to work. So we are so proud to be here today. When we embarked on this project back in 2013, there was a vacant National Guard armory. And we, with you, wanted to redevelop it into a place that would benefit the community and reimagine what the space could be so that young people and families and seniors could enjoy it. So after speaking with you, but more importantly, listening to you, the community, it was clear that the residents and the Crown Heights community wanted to manifest Major Owen's vision, and a center where people of all ages and from all walks of life could come together and have access and services that opens doors to opportunity. And so in 2015, when we selected BFC to be our partner and help us bring that vision to life, it took years of hard work to build this beautiful recreational center that we are all in today. And I want to take a moment to acknowledge again the fabulous performances that opened up. It's just to hear the joys of laughter, and I was here yesterday and see kids swimming in the pool. It's just wonderful to see it alive. To see the nonprofits, I encourage you to walk the spaces. They're absolutely beautiful. And thank you to Boys Club, who's helping bring all of these activities to life so that there's STEM classes and dance classes and performance programs. And so I just want to take a moment now to really thank you, Majority Leader Laurie Cumbo. Thank you for your steadfast support, your partnership, holding us to account too. I've been in those tough meetings too, Don. You're not alone. So thank you for carrying this over the finish line today, and to CB9 and the Community Advisory Committee. And we are so pleased that we could honor the legacy of Congressman Major Owens, who we've had the pleasure of naming this after. I also want to thank our agency partners, the state for their generous support. And I do want to take a moment not only to thank Deputy Mayor Bean for everything that she does, but particularly to my colleagues at EDC. They've been working on this a lot longer than I have. We always say this is a relay race. We pass the baton on to each other. So I do want to take a moment to shout out Lydia and James for all your work on this. I just happen to be holding the baton right now. And thank you to all the other EDCers. So thank you, Crown Heights, for letting us be your partner. And we can't wait to see it come to life. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. Appreciate that. It's time for a magic trick. Ready? Ladies and gentlemen, the Mayor of New York City, Bill de Blasio.
Thank you. Everybody. Isn't this beautiful? Isn't it amazing? First of all, Joe, thank you. And thank you, everyone, advisory board, everyone from the community who helped create this vision. I hope you're feeling incredibly gratified that you had a vision, you pushed for a vision, and it's here. It's actually here. Look around the room at everyone who was a part of this process of bringing forward this incredible day. Look around at all the people who made this possible. Give your neighbor a round of applause. Joe, I'm giving you. So, this is a dream, literally a dream come true. And we went down this path in my neighborhood here in Brooklyn as well. We had an armory. It was unused. It was sitting there in the middle of community. It wasn't helping people. And for years, the question was, could something ever be different? And I'll tell you, there's many times in so many situations I've seen where people understandably get frustrated, they get a little hopeless, and they say, how is it possible that so much good could happen with a building and it's just sitting there and no one benefits? There's no child playing there, there's no community member who can go and experience something better, and it just sits there. But then we saw people come together and say, something beautiful could happen here. Something that could change the community for the better, something that could reach people in their everyday lives and just literally make life better. And that's what's been achieved here. If you are a parent like me, you know there's nothing more precious than a beautiful and safe place for our children to play. Lori, you agree with that statement? You're being very quiet, Lori Cumbo. Lori, is there anything more important than a beautiful and safe place for our children to play?
We got to work Lori up the scale. Her volume can be very impressive when she gets going. So I think of this as a blessing. I think of this as something transformational. And I also think it sends a message to our kids about the way we value them. This is for the whole community, but I want to speak about our children. Our children are very perceptive. If you don't invest in them, they can tell. If they don't have a beautiful and safe and modern place to play, if they are relegated to something less, they feel like they're being treated like they're less than. It communicates to them something about their worth, and we cannot allow that to happen. That is unacceptable. Our children are precious. They are our hopes. They are our dreams. They need to walk into a place like this and feel that all things are possible for them. And that nothing is more important to us than our children. When you walk in here, I just walked in here for the first time. I had never seen it. I'd heard about it. I'd seen pictures. I had never experienced till I walked in that door a minute ago, and I stopped dead in my tracks. And I said, something amazing is happening here. And think of every child who walked that same path and be moved, and think of the hope it will generate in them. To everyone who has been a part of this, everyone who dreamed of it, everyone who fought for it, I'm thankful to you. I know it was not easy. I know it was not easy. And I want to give a special thanks to a colleague in government who believed and took on the tough fight to make this happen. And there's a reason her voice is so loud, because she actually is trying to do something for people, and she was doing it long before she was elected official. She was bringing culture to the people of our community. Now she's bringing all this with her efforts. Let's thank Councilmember Lori Cumbo. It was worth it, Lori. There are so many people in government who don't get the credit they deserve every day, literally every day. They're trying to create affordable housing and jobs and recreation spaces and things that will change people's lives. They don't get enough credit, but I'm going to give credit. Deputy Mayor Vicky Bean, thank you for your leadership helping this to happen. And the President of EDC, Rachel Loeb, thank you, and everyone at EDC. They do amazing things at EDC. They create beautiful things. Thank you. We remember two great people in this larger, incredible space. First of all, I'm moved to see Kerry Gabay's name. Such a good young man who was doing so much good and was taken from us. But I want to thank Trinell for keeping his memory alive and fighting to end the scourge of violence and to protect our kids. Thank you, Trinell. Where are you? Thank you so much. And Congressman Major Owens. I knew Major Owens. I saw him on his journey. It was such an amazing thing. Major Owens represented a vision of change in Brooklyn. He helped to achieve it. And he believed that the status quo we all came up with didn't have to remain the same. He was really a change agent in every way. He was a community organizer. The fact that we can stand here in his memory and say the words Major R. Owens Health and Wellness Community Center, that moves me, because that's a kind of fitting tribute to someone who did so much for us. This is a living memorial. Statues are nice and paintings are nice, but someplace that kids and families will become healthier and happier, and that is a fitting tribute to Major Owens. Let's send him a salute. Everything that people experience here, the basketball courts are beautiful, soccer, dance, all these things will make people healthier and happier. And the fact, swimming pool, I mean, it's amazing. This is everything you want for every community. But the fact there's also going to be 250 affordable homes for New Yorkers who need a place they can afford to live. That is beautiful. And the last thing I'll say is it's powerful that we're doing this right now. I want to ask a show of hands. Did anyone have a conversation with anyone in the last 2 years since COVID hit? In the last 2 years, did you come across anyone who said, oh, New York City's not going to make it. New York City's not going to be the same. Everyone's going to leave New York City. Raise your hand if you had anybody in your life say, I'm not sure about New York City anymore. Here's my message. Never bet against New York City. And whatever you do, never bet against Brooklyn. God help us. Never, ever, ever, ever bet against Brooklyn. So, we're opening something astounding as we're finishing the fight against a global pandemic. We didn't crumble under the pressure. We didn't stop. We didn't say, oh, everything's lost. We said, keep going, keep fighting, keep building. The Crown Heights community deserves it. The Crown Heights community that has over decades shown incredible ability to overcome challenges. This is a community, to me, one of the proudest in this city, because with whatever the pain of the past and the divisions and the rifts, this community proved that transcendent action could happen. People could find a way forward. That's what I think of when I think of Crown Heights. And here in the middle, everything we fought through the last 2 years, a tree grows in Brooklyn. Something amazing, and something that will be here for generations to come. Everyone, congratulations. You got a lot to be proud of today. There's no stopping Crown Heights. There's no stopping Brooklyn. There's no stopping New York City. God bless you all.